Koster leads demolition of illegal buildings on Bingin Beach, Bali, land owned by local government. This is a big, huge story. It's been going on for a few days now. It's going to go on for a while. And the governor meets with the Ministry of Public Works. Well, he will meet with the Ministry of Public Works to discuss the Mengwi-Gilimanuk toll road. Yes, this is back in the news again. The Denpasar-Gilimanuk main route officially opened. Yes, thank goodness. The big trucks and buses are not coming through Singaraja again. Stay tuned for details on these and other stories. Selamat pagi. Welcome to the latest news from Bali in Indonesia. This is July 23rd, 2025, and my name is Bruce. And what is the weather like today? Wow, another lovely day. It is 8:30 in the morning and it is 27 degrees. Yes, 27 degrees, it's cool. Humidity 70% and the wind speed is 0. Yes, there is no wind. Wow, it is lovely today. There are so many stories to talk about today, and of course I'm not going to get to them as usual. There are links down below in the description if you want to go and read any of the articles about the ones that I'm not going to get to. So let's get started right away. Koster leads demolition of illegal buildings on Bingin Beach. The governor of Bali symbolically demolished one of the accommodation buildings in the Bingin Beach area on Monday. Yes, that was 2 days ago. And actually, he didn't demolish anything. There was an interesting video of him with a mallet, and he was pounding on a door, but, well, nothing broke. But he was there symbolically. He was accompanied by the region of Badung, Wayan Arnawa, the regional secretary of Badung, the head of the Bali and Badung Civil Service Police Unit, and a number of other officials. The governor dismantled one of the entrances to the accommodation called Morabito Art Cliff. The governor said there's 48 buildings that are going to be demolished. He said these include illegal villas, all illegally built without permits. The owner is foreign, and we're still investigating, he said. First, this land belongs to the Badung Regional Government and is registered as a Badung Regional Government asset. Therefore, this building is not on private property. That's the first violation. He added that there were also violations of provincial and district city government regulations regarding spatial planning. This is a green area and none of the buildings have permits, he said. The residents' shouts of rejection were heard loudly, asking for the demolition to be postponed temporarily. But the governor firmly asked that all buildings on the cliffs of the beach be completely dismantled. Regarding the 48 illegal buildings here, why were they only demolished today? The governor said that everything requires a process starting from the first warning, second warning, third warning, and after receiving a recommendation from the Bali Provincial DPRD, the demolition will be carried out. He said, I asked the region of Badung to complete this demolition and demolish all 48 illegal tourism business buildings. And what about the workers from the local community? How are they going to get work? Well, the governor said he thought about it, and it was not that he was not protecting local tourism workers, but that all the buildings were unlicensed. Of course, he added, we'll consider the workers in the surrounding community. We're not denying protection, but if the violations involving the use of other people's assets are not enforced, can that be tolerated? It's not allowed. We can't encourage the community to commit violations. Koster further stated that, in essence, the Bali provincial government is currently preparing a team to conduct an investigative audit of tourism business permits throughout Bali. Yes, this is going to be happening in other places. And in another story that I'm not covering, this says basically the same thing, except they said they were going to be looking at Jembrana and Kuta and other areas around Bali to find out how many illegal buildings there are. And, well, there's going to be a story that comes after this. It's going to talk about another place, and this time in Ubud. If there are violations, firm and tough action will be taken. Firm action will be taken, but of course there will be a process. And what about workers getting compensated? He said, no, that's not possible. This is an illegal construction project. The land belongs to the Badung regional government, not to individuals. We cannot allow this. If we allow practices like this to continue throughout Bali, it will destroy Bali. Let's build some more beach clubs and Ferris wheels and all those cool things that are related to Cultural tourism. The governor stated that supervision will be tightened going forward. He assured us that this year cleanups will be carried out throughout Bali. And let's take a look at what the residents and the workers have to say about this. Demolitions of warungs and villas on Bingin Beach continues. Residents reject and take legal action. The atmosphere on the coast of Bingin Beach looked cloudy but full of enthusiasm and a little tense on Monday. Dozens of shop and villa owners who have depended on this area for years for their livelihood held a peaceful demonstration voicing their opposition to the eviction of their businesses. In the midst of the demolition carried out by the Badung Public Order Agency, Satpol PP, the voices of the common people echoed, asking for a delay, asking for justice. They're not staying silent. A lawsuit has been filed with the Denpasar State Administrative Court, and the first hearing is scheduled for the near future. According to a spokesperson for the group, we're asking for 5 to 10 years. Many of us have been here for decades, depending on this land for our livelihood. A total of 48 buildings, including food stalls and villas, were targeted for demolition. The Badung Regency government argued that the buildings were illegally built on state land and within a protected area. However, for residents, the illegal verdict was a senseless blow. They claim that they have been working to legalize and manage the area administratively since 2022. Until now, there's been no certainty, even after these efforts, they say, have been met with a lukewarm response from the government. Mediation with the region, we're still being asked to demolish the buildings ourselves. Made Sarja, one of the stall owners who filed the lawsuit, said the impact of the eviction was far-reaching. No fewer than 250 people have lost their jobs directly, and if their families are included, the total number of affected residents could reach 2,000. This isn't just about the building, it's about people's stomachs, their children's education, and their future. We're not big business owners, we're local people just trying to survive, said Sarja. He also revealed that several villas have already ceased operations due to legal uncertainty. This is feared to have a negative impact on the tourism sector, which is beginning to recover from post-pandemic. The residents' attorney regretted the government's stance in continuing with the demolition, even though the case was ongoing in court. Residents have been occupying and managing this area since before the 1989 spatial planning regulation and even before the 1992 spatial planning law. The government should wait for the court's decision. The state must obey the law, he said. He highlighted the importance of social justice as guaranteed in the Constitution. We don't reject restructuring, he said, but restructuring must be humane and provide solutions. The legal representative for one of the business entities, Morabito, stated that his client had been paying taxes since 2004 and registered the management of the area through official channels in 2023. We have a taxpayer identification number, proof of payment, and administrative documents. This isn't land we usurped. We've been here for a long time. He emphasized that the accusation that all businesses in Bingin are illegal does not reflect the reality on the ground. We're ready to sit down together. All we're asking for is clarity and recognition. From the demolition site, the governor emphasized that the buildings being demolished were built without official permits and were on land belonging to the Badung regional government. Badung Regent Adi Arnawa also added that after the demolition process is complete, a dialogue will be held with the community. This demolition must be completed first. After that, we will open a communication channel. The demolition is targeted to be completed within 1 month. Amidst the turmoil and uncertainty, hope still grows. Residents have expressed their readiness to accept official restrictions and regulations as long as they are given the space to continue living off the land they have protected. The government should be grateful. We're building the local economy without regional budget funds. Now we just ask for clarity and time. And well, this is really controversial on the internet, on the social media. Some people in favor of what the government's doing, saying people should not be allowed to build on government land, and other people saying, well, why didn't you do something a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago? And there'll be another section on what's happening in Ubud with some more illegal building. In the meantime, let's get back to one of my favorite topics, the Mengwi-Gilimanuk toll road, right? This has been going on for what, over 3 years now? Koster meets with the Ministry of Public Works to discuss the Mengwi-Gilimanuk toll road, the Denpasar-Gilimanuk main route officially opened. I've talked about this in the last couple of videos, right? The big hole in the road down in Tabanan and how traffic was rerouted through Singaraja up through Badugal and down and all the way around the island, the east coast, all the way to Denpasar. Well, that was fixed way ahead of time, and traffic is back to normal, apparently. And so the government is taking this opportunity to bring up the Mengwi-Gilimanuk toll road again. He announced that the construction of the Gilimanuk-Mengwi toll road will be accelerated due to its urgent importance for Bali's transportation and logistics. This came during the official reopening of the collapsed road in Tabanan. The road, which collapsed on July 7th, for those of you not familiar with this, forced trucks and buses to take long, steep alternative routes through Bulang and Karangasem, severely affecting logistics and increasing travel time and fuel costs. After 12 days of intensive repairs, completed faster than expected, the road was opened on July 19th, restoring vital west-east connections. The governor emphasized that the Mengwi-Gilimanuk toll road was always part of long-term plans due to the heavy traffic on this corridor, which serves as a lifeline for the Java-Bali logistics routes. He is going to meet next week with the Ministry of Public Works to press for getting the project to go forward. How many times have we heard this? The governor thanked both the repair team and the public, including netizens who criticized or bullied him, saying that the pressure helped accelerate progress. Thank you also to the netizens who gave me information to speed up this work so that I was really motivated. Thank you for bullying me, because that was encouraging. If no one gets angry, listen to this, if no one gets angry, it means we will be less enthusiastic. So thank you to those who bully, get angry, and all sorts of things. Getting angry also means patience, however. So yes, you got to bully the government in order to get them to do something, what he's saying. Otherwise, they don't really care. Koster further stated that being a government official serving the public requires patience in responding to public complaints, even if the suggestions are not well informed. Governor said that he will accommodate these. All the goals were good to expedite the completion of this work, and now that the operations have resumed, traffic from Gilimanuk to Denpasar has returned to normal with no further disruptions to logistics distribution. So everything's back to normal, and any obstacles or disruptions that occurred have been successfully resolved. While the main road is now operational, repairs and maintenance will continue, including sidewalk paving and restoration of damaged alternative routes. The total budget for repair is 3 to 4 billion rupiah. The reopening has been warmly welcomed by bus and truck drivers who had faced higher costs and longer hours on the alternative routes. Economic activity, especially in Tabanan, is expected to bounce back now that the route is functional again. The governor hopes that the reopening of this national road will allow people in the Tabanan region whose trading activities were quiet during this time due to lack of vehicles and shopping to recover and return to normal. So thank goodness that that is done. How long is the road going to remain functional? That's another question entirely. And what about some more building problems? Russian foreigner owns 20 luxury villas in Ubud, ends up being sealed. A Russian foreigner was caught owning 20 luxury villas in Ubud. The villas were eventually sealed off for alleged illegal activities. The Public Order Agency has sealed off Greenflow Villa on Jalan Raya Sayan in Ubud. The luxury villa was sealed off for allegedly illegally converting agricultural land. This is kind of like the Park Ubud issue. The villa has 20 buildings, each located on the east and south sides of the Masjid Zion Temple. The acting head of the Gianyar Regency Public Order Agency and Fire Department, Imade Arianta, revealed that the villa was sealed on June 20th. According to him, before being sealed, the villa management had been given warning letters, appeals, and guidance since 2024. Buildings 1 and 2 are in the tourism zone, but their radius is too close to the sacred area. Buildings 3, 4, and 5 are in the sustainable food agricultural land zone. This is a violation, he said. Arianta emphasized that the Russian business PT Bali Investments lacks a permit. According to him, the permit cannot be issued due to conflict with Gianyar Regional Regulation Number 1 of 2020 concerning the protection of sustainable food agricultural land and Gianyar Regional Regulation Number 2 of 2023 regarding Gianyar Regency spatial planning. They didn't have a building permit, he said, because they didn't meet the temple's sacred radius, which should be 25 meters. As soon as we noticed this in 2024, we immediately took action. At the time, the building wasn't finished as it is now. They were stubborn because they continued to build secretly after the notice to halt and the installation of warning billboards was done. In addition to administrative matters, the Russian is also undergoing criminal proceedings. The case is currently under investigation by investigators from the Bali Regional Police Criminal Investigation Directorate. Previously, police had put up police tape around buildings 3, 4, and 5 of Greenflow Villa Ubud. On February 14th, 2025, an alleged conversion of agricultural land was discovered. One of the caretakers for the temple revealed that the construction of Greenflow Villa began with a cooperation agreement and the granting of access to the temple road. However, the area and its use did not match what was promised. The Russian claimed he was only building a private residence and not a villa business. He also paid half the contract price based on the actual conditions on the ground. However, the Greenflow Villa Ubud had already been operational since this construction around 2020-2021. Initially, according to Greenflow Management, they only rented a small area east of the temple. It was only 6 ara to build a private home, so we granted them the right to use the land. It turned out a lot of villas were built all the way to the south. We felt like we had been cheated. Due to this issue, the group and the Russians party were mediated by PHDI Gianyar and Denpasar after their lawsuit was rejected. As a result, it was agreed this issue would be resolved through deliberation. As a footnote to all this, the Russian fulfills a number of responsibilities such as donations for every Odolan ceremony at the temple in the form of 150 kilograms of rice and 150 kilograms of pork. The Russians group also donated electricity and water to the temple and helped with the restoration of various aspects of the temple, as well as making a monthly contribution of 100,000 per villa. So another instance of where the government is coming and looking at buildings that have already been completed and business that have already been started and saying, no, this is illegal. You didn't have permission to do this, and we're going to do something. Now, what are they going to do? In this case, they didn't say they were going to demolish anything. Perhaps there'll be some mediation again. And as I mentioned in a previous segment, this is going to be going on around the island now, according to the governor and the region of Badung. What about rabies? A couple of reports about rabies. I'm just going to do one here. In just July, the number of positive rabies cases in Jembrana surged, surpassing the record number in 2024. Rabies is surging in West Bali. Positive rabies cases in Jembrana over the past 7 months far exceeded the 54 cases recorded in 2024. So far, there have been 76 positive cases from January to July, predominantly from the Mengwi District, making it a priority for mass vaccination to prevent the spread of virus, which is transmitted through the bite of rabies-transmitting animals. Head of the Animal Health and Veterinary Public Health Division of the Agricultural and Food Service said that positive rabies cases in Jembrana based on sample test results at the Denpasar Veterinary Center showed high results. The samples sent to the laboratory were mostly from dogs that had previously bitten people. Therefore, after a bite case occurred and the sample tested positive, emergency vaccination was immediately carried out in the area around the bite to prevent the spread of rabies. The victims have also received medical treatment and anti-rabies vaccinations. In addition to carrying out emergency vaccinations at the location where the bite case occurred, mass vaccinations were also carried out for the entire village for all animals that transmit rabies: dogs, cats, and monkeys. This mass vaccination prioritizes red zone areas such as Mengwi District, which has the most positive rabies cases. 13,764 animals, or 33% of the estimated population of animals potentially carrying rabies, were vaccinated. The team is targeting a vaccination of 80 to 100% of the population. The more people vaccinated, the better we can prevent the spread of the virus, he stressed. And another story just came out today about Gianyar and rabies. So rabies are a problem, and if you are walking around and you see some dogs, watch out. And if you get bitten, you need to go and see somebody at a clinic or a hospital to report that. And there are a lot more stories. Of course, there was the fire on the passenger ship over in Minahasa, and well, another black eye on maritime safety in Indonesia. Anyway, that is it for today. Thanks for viewing. Be kind to someone today. Take care and have a great week. I will see you again next Wednesday.